and that hurt is internal, like I'm not good enough. And yet, do they ever take it out on you? What do they do with those feelings? Because they're relatively new at being challenged like this.
That's a great question. And that's the hardest part of my job because it breaks my heart because I just love them back just as much. And just saying that, I'm like tearing up thinking about those conversations. They are so hard and they're so difficult. One thing as a coach that I try to do now, again, I'm dealing with 10 players, but what I think is unique about golf, we can't travel all 10. And I know there's sports where there's 16 on the roster, maybe 8 are on the court, 6 in the court. I'm not sure numbers, but everyone goes. So you always feel engaged. In golf, when they compete against each other, they are truly competing to go or not to go. Yeah. And then to your point, I often have to make that decision at the end, who gets those spots. One thing we try really hard, and we've tried to structure the way we do our makeup of our program so that it's fair. And the more I can limit head games with women, because that's what'll happen. They will fill that void. Typically, and again, I don't know how this is with men, but typically they will not just come directly and say, I don't understand that decision. Can you walk me through that decision, coach? That won't happen. Therefore, I have to try to limit head games when there's these big decisions to be made, which happen often. We try really hard. 2 things. I try to speak to the individuals always first, always alone, always in person if I can, and make that not a 5-minute talk, but it's as long as you need talk. Mm-hmm. I will be here. Then we go from that point. They've heard it first. They know it's going to come in the group setting. They can emotionally be more prepared for the group setting. Then we go to the group setting and I will say, okay, this weekend, Carlette and Kathy made the trip. So-and-so stayed home, but that person isn't taken aback. They know they've had their moment. They've talked to me. And then I will always say to the group, this is an open process. I welcome any of you. Please come grab me. That would be the gift you could give me is to come ask me about this and just try to make it okay for that, because you hit the nail on the head. The power thing is real. It's real. And there's no way we can change that. That's by virtue of coach, team.
Position. Yeah.
But what I can do is I can grease a pathway, a communication pathway that they feel like they can move back and forward and come and ask me. And if I'm not doing that, that's when things start to get off. If they don't feel like it's truly a 2-way communication. But that takes a lot of work. That's not something that you just say at the beginning of the year, like, hey, open door policy, guys, swing on by. It takes constant work to make sure that they know, come to me, we'll be on the same page. You might not always like my answer, of course. I mean, that's just how it goes.
Right.
But I want you to walk away feeling like you fully understood where that came from.